Lumix sent me the S5iiX to do a review on, and you can check out that video right here if you haven't seen it already. But in this video, after using this camera for a couple of weeks, now I can finally understand who the S5iiX is for, who it's not for, and also what camera you might want to get instead of this one. Now, I have three groups on who I think the S5iiX is actually for. So the first group I call the future proofers. Now, these are people who are considering to future proof their cameras. Maybe they want Apple ProRes or Apple ProRes RAW or B-RAW. They need to shoot longer takes and need to take advantage of SSD recording. These are people that need a camera for the future and are just trying to pit themselves in a camera system that they can grow into, not necessarily need all the specs and features that are on it right now. Now, the second group of people I call the B cammers. These are people who need a solid B cam with great autofocus, Apple ProRes RAW or B-RAW, record SSD, just people that are looking for a solid B cam that can match very well with a camera like the Red. One person in particular that comes to mind is this one person I found on YouTube. Their channel is fairly new, but they're doing really well, is Anthony Rodriguez. He's been using the S5 II and been pairing it with his own Red camera. Now, these are two great cameras, and the S5 II or the 2X compares really well with a Red camera. And the last group is group 3, the upgraders. These are people who are considering to buy the S5 II just to save $200 right now. But if they want to consider upgrading and record externally in the future, they would spend $200, the same $200, to get external recording in Apple ProRes RAW and B-RAW. Now, the downside to upgrading your camera later is you're not going to be getting features that the X has, like the SSD recording, Apple ProRes internally, and all intra recording options. You're only getting external record options. So just get all the upgrades now instead of spending $200 later and missing out on a ton of great features. Now, if you didn't fit in one of those three categories, here's who I don't think the S5iiX is for, and you might be able to fall into one of these situations. The first one is if you're looking for a camera that specifically records Apple ProRes RAW or B-RAW. If you're in a situation where a client requires you to be recording RAW or B-RAW, you probably aren't looking at a $2,000 camera to do that. Now, again, it can be a great B cam to do a secondary camera, but this probably shouldn't be your main camera if you're looking to record raw footage from a $2,000 body. You should probably be looking at an FX6 or the Red cameras. The second category is if you're a casual shooter, you're a social media content creator, or you're just a photographer. I would just suggest getting the S5 Mark II at that point because it has all the features you really need to be creating great content for social media, for just your personal. Basically, if you're anyone else besides a dedicated filmmaker, I don't think the S5 II is for you. The S5iiX is really the pro version with a couple more features built into the camera already for dedicated filmmakers. But now, after all that said and done, if you're still confused if you should buy the S5iiX, I have a video comparing that to the GH6 right here. And YouTube recommends you might also like this video right here. Until next week, guys, peace.